time to turn this very kind of ratty shelf system into actual cabinets. So I will be reusing some of that wood because there's some good 3/4 inch plywood there. I will at least use it to make the upper cabinets out of. And the lower cabinets will all be coming out of this. And I'm not spending no big money on, you know, cabinet grade plywood. This is just CDX. It's good enough for the shop. I'll put a decent face on it though so it can be painted, but the boxes don't matter. I mean, look what it's going to be storing. Definitely not fine china. Anyways, so the object is to turn this into this. Okay, so first part of the process is going to be, I'm going to cut myself one cabinet and just try to do that first and see how it turns out. This is not full 3/4 inch plywood. This is 1932. So we'll see how it works out. I might have to stop and buy different fasteners than what I bought. I originally bought fasteners for the Craig system and bought fasteners that were going to be 1¼ inch. They may be too long for this, so I might have to go back out and buy some 1 inch fasteners. I do have a track saw, but the track saw I have is only about 3.5 feet long. So I have a bar that I got from Harbor Freight. Yep, we all know that brand. So I'll take this Pittsburgh straight edge and lay it across here like such. That's my cut line. That line is my fence line. Got a 2 inch guide for the plate of this saw. This saw is part of the track saw system, but you know, you can just use it as a regular old circular saw, so that's good. I don't know if you can see that, but this thing is got quite a bow to this piece of wood. So my saw is going off track. So in theory, that you get the two sides out of this one piece. They're right down the middle. You also need a bottom and the other spacer pieces that'll go here and there. So one bottom, two spacer ones. This is a pretty tall cabinet, right? So this is a working height I wanted to have, which matches the current shelf in the back. Versus bending over to the work. Okay. ultimately, when you build a project, you see it on Shop Nation. The guy built the ultimate workbench, and I want to do that as well. I want to build a workbench that'll line right up with the saw for my outfeed. But I do have a couple of outfeed sawhorse type units. That's what I was actually using to fill the bridge on this plywood cut. These here, they're nice. I mean, they work, don't get me wrong. And you know, if I was just cutting a single, you know, 2x4, 2x6, or you know, ripping something like that, this is just fine. But when you're ripping big sheet items, these tend to, I don't know if you can't see it from here, but when you're ripping big sheet items, when that comes off the table, it tends to hit this and just rock up like that. And when it rocks up like that, it kicks your wood up. So we don't want to have that. But this will work fine for what I'm doing with this smaller sheet. You know, it still might pick up, but I can compensate for that. In the guard directional, you'll see how this teeters. So you want it to hit that ramp and then flatten out. And that should be just below this level so that it slides off fairly easily. Whereas I use the heck out of these outfeed horses. I mean, I stain on them and everything else. Basically, that's how I set them up. I just line it up with the saw a little bit below it. Yep. That should do it. I'm going to set this over. And I know it's going to be just under 2 foot. Theory, this piece should be exactly the same way. And that is close enough for government work. So, in theory, I should be able to, now I got my templates cut for width, I can run the 2 sideboards through. This will be my shelves. I'll make these into shelves. Or I can make it into 2 more sides. That's fine. Just want to put them up side by side just to make sure. Before I do that, my outfeed tables, my these feeds were just a little too far away. There we go. That's too much good. Tell you what, this stuff is so cupped, it makes it pretty difficult though. I'm gonna have to really use a lot of fasteners to get that cup out of it. Total width I'm gonna try to cover is 92 inches, so it's 4 inches shy of the 8 feet. So 92, I wanna give myself an inch of room to play with over the entire 8 feet. So each cabinet will be a ½ inch smaller than the required measurement. So if I'm going to split it in half, 92, got 46 inches. Right? Yep, 46 inches. So two 46-inch cabinets. And I want an inch of space, so it's 45 and a half of each cabinet. That gives me an overall total length of 91 inches. 45 and a half and 45 and a half gives me 91 inches. So 45 and a half. Now the shelves are inside the cabinet, and cabinet wall, 1 inch and 3/16. So 1 inch and 3/16 from 45 and a half. So we call that a quarter, I guess. Just call it 44 and a quarter. That gives me about 1 inch and a 16th, or gives me about 7/16 off each cabinet, right? To make up my total of the 92. So, yeah, and I do not have a panel sled. I had one, I didn't really like the way it worked, so I threw it away. So I am going to cut these the old-fashioned way. So after measuring this out, I'm going to have quite a bit of waste off the top of these. And I could do something else with this plywood, but on the next ones, I think I'm going to cut these panels out before I split it in half. Because this takes this whole section here from this line up, basically is kind of unusable. Where if I would have left it connected, I could have used it as a back bracing piece, but now it's so small, I won't be able to use it for that. I mean, I could use it, I don't know, I could use it for some drawers, or I could make some corner, pie-shaped corner bracing out of it. I could do that. But, lesson learned, probably pays to put it all on paper first and do a cut sheet, so you know how much you can get maximum use out of your piece of plywood. This is quite a bit of waste in the cost of plywood today. But I'm glad I did it on this CDX stuff, because this was basically the cheapest plywood you could buy. So I'm not losing that much money. It's a couple bucks, but lesson learned, couple bucks. Hey, I've been doing this a long time and still make these kind of silly mistakes. But you pretty much get a cabinet out of one sheet of plywood. One 4-foot cabinet, or call it 45-inch cabinet, not quite 4 feet. Anyway, so I'm going to lay this on the table and give it a cut. Looks like I'm probably going to just freehand it. I did draw a reference line and just freehand it through the saw. Pretty easy to do. Now, if you're not really comfortable with working around a saw like this, you could put up a guard. I have one here. Now I could slap it on real quick. That'll prevent it from kicking up in my face or back at me in any way. Yeah. Sure. Well, the bar that it hangs on is stored away, so I'm just gonna do it out of for now. I'm pretty used to doing this kind of work, so it should not be too big of an issue. Yeah, don't do what I do, do as I say. I used to tell my kids that all the time. But yeah, we'll be alright. Like that. Not getting done much strainer on it with the sled. Again, this is pretty rough shop cabinets. You know, if I was building kitchen cabinets, I'd probably do things quite a bit differently. But so, that's the base. That's the base of the cabinet. The toe kick. I can actually cut both toe kicks at the same time. Alright. I actually have a set of cabinets from the kitchen that the camera's sitting on right now. So I'll just measure the toe kick on them and that's my height. Yes. Alright. That's really good though. And this cabinet's getting close to being assembled. Getting to assembly time. Got two side panels all cut. You can see them. Two mirror copies of the same thing. You see the toe kick. Should be good. That's a 4-inch by, what did I do? 2.5, 2 3/4? Don't even know. I think I did 2 3/4. That's 2 3/4. This is, yeah, found her on Amazon. We'll see how it works, but, yeah, pretty neat little clamping system. Yeah. The one board will come into here, one board will come in through here. These should just slide back and forth, kind of like any of your bar clamps do. Board here, intersect there. This is this squares up your two pieces of wood. Let's see how it works. Hang in there. Don't go tilting on me. Whoa. Let's see. Okay. Alright, I am doing this on some pretty janky stuff. Alright, that's the other one. Alright, so here's the clamp. Got the side already in it. I'm using the table saw. It's kind of, well, I won't be able to leave it like that though. Just kind of an extra set of handbrake. So here's the base. And I am doing it crown up. Well, look at there. That's going to be nice right there, I'm telling you. Excuse the shakiness, that's just my nature. So there's the one board, this is the base. You see this is the side piece, this is the base. Here's the 90-degree, the clamps with the dovetail clamping mechanism there with the actual pull handle on the outside. So nice square corner. I know that's not going nowhere. This was I got to take it apart because I still got to cut all my Kreg holes in this board. I'm gonna probably do at least 4, maybe 5 down each side. That should hold that, and then I still got to come up with something on the top because I ruined that piece of plywood. But yeah, I'm gonna just take this apart, drill some Kreg holes in that. I will be putting glue in there as well, glue and screws. I do want to make sure I draw a straight line because this board is warped. so I don't want it to be screwed in warped. All right, so let me prep that, and then I'll show you my very, very cheap Kreg jig that I'm going to be using. And yeah, we're going to make it happen, but I think I'm going to upgrade some tools by the end of this project. All right, stand by. All right, so here's my little baby Kreg pocket hole jig. I've used it on a number of projects. It does work, but it's tiny. It's you know, it comes with a clamping platform. I don't even use that. I just freehand it. I just stick it in there and go. If I can get it out of here. Anyways, you know, there's the drill bit, the driving screwdriver with the square bit. I never use those. I don't even know why I keep them. I got 2 box sets of them. Anyways, I will just freehand this in, and you know, so here, I guess it's got the model number on there. No, but you know, they make a special clamp that goes right here. You know, I'd never bothered to even buy one, so we just won't even bother using it. Anyways, let me see if I can get this out of here. All right, there we go. So there it is. You use these parts here just to set the thickness of your wood. There's a scale on here. Probably pretty hard to read in this. There we go. So you just set your thickness of the wood to that arrow. I am at 19/32, so whatever that is, it's somewhere between 1/2 and 3/4. That's probably pretty close to where that mark is, actually. It's going to be pretty close to that. Now, I might cheat it and say it's a 3/4 inch just to draw the screws further back, but you know, because I want the screw to come out in the middle of the plywood. Anyways, I'll probably have to do a couple test drills just to make sure, and it's a good, well, actually I can use that piece of scrap wood right there that I messed up on. I could drill some test holes and see if it's even going to work. If it's not going to work, I'm going to go get some different fasteners. I know this will work. This will, you know, I know this will drill the holes I need for the depth I need, but I might, my fasteners are 1¼ inch. I might need 1-inch fasteners just because this plywood's so thin. Anyways, let me set this up and I'll record me cut some test holes. All right, I loaded up the drill bit in my DeWalt drill here, and right now I got this thing set for right in the mark that's right between 1/2 and 3/4. So we're talking 5/8, right? 5/8 inch. This is pretty close to that size wood, so I'm literally just going to hold it in place and drill through here. Just kind of go in slow. It won't get away from you. Once it gets started, the Kreg jig is not going to want to move anyway. All right, there we go. That's it. It's through. And wow. Let's see, where's that? That is dead center. But I'll tell you, that is dead center of where I wanted it on this seam. You can see the hole right there. Great. So actually, you can see the hole on the camera better than I can with my eyes from this angle. So I mean, I know that's going to be way too long. Let me go get one of those fasteners that I have. Look, you have a college education to get those open. All right, so you see how you can't see how much that sticks out. I mean, there is no way that is going to make it. I'm going to test drill this just to show you. Yeah, exactly what I thought. I need 1-inch fasteners. Right there, the tip. This is the piece of that cut off from the toe kick. And this is that waist from the top that I cut off. And with that fastener on there, I am sticking out just proud. Not even a full quarter. So these are 1/4 inch screw, 1 1/4 screws. I'm gonna just go get a box of 1 inch. I might have some here in the shop. I'm gonna go look before I run off to the store. I would like to just get this cabinet together today. But if I don't have the right fasteners, I won't be able to do it, you know. So, you know, if I would have bought the 3/4 inch plywood like I initially intended when I bought these screws, it would have been no problem. These are perfect for 3/4 inch plywood, but for this little bit thinner stuff, yeah, it's not going to cut it. But the idea will be to fasten those two sides together. So let me go see if I can find a 1-inch one of these Kreg screws. I have other 1-inch screws, and I could put it together with those, but I really would like to just, you know, show you the right way to do it with these Kreg screws and get the job done right. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I didn't find any of the Kreg screws, but I do have these sheetrock screws that are 1-inch. You know, I think at least I'm gonna test this one. I got it in there. Yeah, I think that's the ticket. And you know what? I'll bet you these here screws are a fraction of the cost of the Kreg screws. So for these cabinets, I think I'm just going to put it together with these. I'll put a lot of glue on this surface, you know, glue it up real good. Put maybe 6 screws in instead of I was thinking 4 or 5. I'll put like 6 of these in. Yeah, this is 300 screws, and I bet I didn't pay maybe $5 for these, and I think I paid $10 for 100 of those Kreg screws. 125 or 150, whatever's in this. Oh no, it's 250. It's 250, and I think I paid $10 for 250, and I probably paid $5 for almost 300. So I think these are sold by weight. So, anyways, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put it together with these screws. At least this first cabinet, see how it goes. You know, if I start having problems, then I'll shift gears. But I mean, that's on there. That ain't going nowhere, and that's not even glued yet. So I think I'm happy with that. So rinse and repeat, right? Sort of even, at least. And, you know, it's not rocket science. I'm not trying to get super critically accurate. All right. So I'm gonna put that right there. Hold it in place. Just get her started. That wants to move. That's why they clamp it, I guess. So there we go. That's my 6, and I got to do the other side too before I start mounting it, because once the first side's together, it'll make it a lot more difficult, to say the least. Obviously, this is not precision doing it this way, free-handing it, but really, is this not fast enough? I mean, it's pretty quick, right? You just move right along, drill, drill, drill. I mean, having that big apparatus on your bench top and having the plywood on end, yeah, you're going to get it exactly where you want it, and it's all clamped and being held, and Probably a little safer too, but as long as you're careful and you respect the tools, make sure you keep your hands away from the pointy end, you'll be all right. So, you know, and this is fast. I'm having this done in seconds, so. No glue just yet. I want to get this kind of set up. I hurt myself. Got another sniver. Working with this ratty plywood. Maybe Boise Cascade Lumber will want to sponsor me and provide me with some real wood. Doubt it. That blew right out. I think I gotta set those holes back. Yeah, maybe you can see my ugly face a little bit. There you go. Nice. All right. All right. So, this one should go here. I'm going to use that same technique. Draw a pencil line. We're just going to shift this board back and forth to line the screws up on the line. Should work great. Get a line first. I'm really hoping I can continue to use these screws. I think when it comes down to it though, I'm going to have to go get the 1-inch Craig screws. They have that because these are tapered head. And that head wants to split down into the wood, where the Craig screws have a nice flat head and it goes down there and sits and pushes the entire wood, where this wants to drive through it and split it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this cabinet with this, but yeah, I'm definitely going to go buy some different screws. I got a box. Sorta. Okay, so now I need some to hold from here across over to here. This is the top, right? Top front. No, top back, sorry. So I'll probably put the strap back here. Might have to cut it in. No, I'll put it inside. So that's easy. And then I need one here, laying across the top inside from that corner to that corner, and then that'll be strong enough for a cabinet. And then once I put the other stuff to it, put the countertop on it, it will be nice and square. All right, but that should be square because I have that corner bracket there, and I hope that maintains square, but there's one way to find out. I'll go get my square, which I got sitting right here, and we'll come up here, and it could be out because I've been moving it around. No, that looks really good. I'm holding it tight into the corner, and it's okay. It's got a little bit out, but just got to push it in. Yep, it'll be good. Perfect. or I should say. Let me come up with some bracing for the back top and the front top, and once I have that done, I'll be able to stand it up and show you the cabinet. Alright, so what I determined is I'm just going to go ahead and take this piece, cut it down the same as I did the bottom piece, and use it as a top. It's kind of overkill, being that I'm going to put 2x6s on top of this, but you know, it's going to give me a nice square cabinet in the end, and I guess that's what it's all about. Yeah, it won't keep it from racking though, like the back piece. I really need to put a back piece in it to keep it from racking. So, but this will give me the cube that I need to start with. So we're going to put this in here. I really probably should make myself a panel sled. Definitely when I get ready to make the ultimate workbench with the full table workbench, I will do that. But yeah, we'll just run this through the saw and get her put together. Same thing, just put the glue down there, clamps on it, and then just move the board in and out so it lines up. First, I'm getting down on that hard concrete with some old knees. Now this can still rack, see? It's not stable, I need some cross bracing. So this is where I was talking about making a triangle here. Just screwing it in, I can do them top, bottom. Alright, much more stable now with the brackets in the back. Let you have a look-see. Yeah, still holding those. I'm going to leave those overnight, just let it dry. But there you have the corner brackets there. And that'll also give me something to attach to the wall. You know, it'd been nice if I'd had a strap all the way across, but that'll work. So I'm happy with that enough. Good enough for a shop. All right, I think that's it for today. I'm gonna let this dry, come out during the week and clean the mess up a little bit. But I think now that I built the prototype, I should be able to whip through that pile of sheets of plywood there pretty quickly. I think I can cut it all now with it, not have the waste. I won't have to do the triangles. I'll be able to probably do a nice long strip all the way across the back. I should be able to have enough to do toe kick, and I'll do the same thing in the back. That'll keep the back of the shelf, of the bottom shelf, supported, and then I'll probably put a cross brace in the middle underneath to give it support, And yeah, that'll be the cabinets. But at least I got the carcass prototyped and I know what I want to build. And yeah, I should be able to just cut all that without doing any assembly, just do all the cutting and have all my lower shelves ready to go. All right, so that'll probably be next weekend. That's it for today. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and it'll just be a few minutes when I come back on this video. All right.